everyone, I'm here with your weekly Tarotscopes for the week of March the 25th to the 31st of 2019. For those of you who may not have seen my previous video, I am going to be moving the Tarotscopes over starting in April to my Patreon. It's at like the $1 level, so it's like totally accessible. But I know some people really love them, but you know, it's not one of the most popular videos on my channel. It's like people either really love them or they skip past them. So I'm going to be moving over there, but I have this week, I have them, and then on March 31st, I will also post it as well on YouTube. But after that, just so you know, it's going to be on Patreon if you're interested in that. Otherwise, let's get to our Tarotscopes for the week. We are in the sign of Aries now. The sun has moved into Aries. We are in Aries season now, so I am going to start with Aries. So for Aries, we have the Deer, or Seven of Fossils. So Aries, you're asked to be patient this week, which I know isn't always your strong point, but patience is going to be key. This is really a good week to step back and reassess things. This is a week where you're going to have to kind of look at things and think, what's working and what's not working. It's not a week to throw everything you've been doing out. It's not a week to say, oh, this is all garbage and throw it away. It is a week, though, where you're going to have to stand back and say, okay, this is working. I need to do more of this. And this isn't, so I need to do less of it or scrap it entirely. So it is just kind of like a reassessment kind of week for you. We are ending our Mercury retrograde on the 27th. We'll still be in the shadow after that, but you will see that things will start to pick up again for you, that things will start to move a little bit smoother as we get past that. For Taurus, we have the Raccoon, the Seer of Fossils, or the Page of Fossils. So for you, Taurus, this is a very Taurus card. It's an earthy card. It's a card that's saying that slow and steady is what's going to win the race, which, you know, Taurus, you already know that. So it's also the student card. So it's really saying, you know, if you are in school right now, really focus on that. If you're studying anything, this is a good week to hunker down, get some of those studies done. It's also a really good week to take care of your health. If you've been avoiding going to the doctor or the physiotherapist or the dentist or whatever, this is the week where you might want to make an appointment, and nothing bad, but it's just saying take care of yourself this week. This is a week where self-care is prominent, and self-care on the earthly level. So taking care of your physical health, looking at your money, are you spending your money wisely? Things like that. So really just taking that time to slow down and care for yourself. For Gemini, we have the Goat, also known as the Devil, the shadow god of liberation. Gemini, you may be tempted by all sorts of things this week. You know, everything from drinking a little too much, even to workaholism, to going overboard with anything, taking a silly risk. Temptations are out there for you, Gemini, to just kind of do something kind of silly. So it's saying, take a step back. I know you like to have fun, and I feel like it's almost like you're being a little more risky this week, especially with Mercury in retrograde. Mercury is your ruling planet, and so there may be some misunderstandings, some miscommunications. You might feel like someone's trying to talk you into something when they're actually really not. So it's kind of like there's these risks and jumping to conclusions and things that are born out of miscommunication. So it's asking you to step back and think about things before you act rashly. For Cancer, we have the Polar Bear, or the Seeker of Shells, also known as the Knight of Cups. This is a great week for you, Cancer, to just daydream, be in your element. You know, your watery element is very prominent for you this week. You're definitely feeling very sensitive, but in a really positive way. It's like you're kind of open to a lot of the positive things in the world. You're also feeling like, you know, a lot more optimistic about your dreams, about romance. You're feeling just a lot better about things in general. So it's saying enjoy this week. Make sure that you're romanticizing yourself. That's not quite the phrase I'm looking for. That you are wooing yourself, that you are treating yourself nicely, emotionally, and also it's a good week for romance too for you. For Leo, we have the prairie dog or 3 of fossils. So Leo, time to get down to work. Now, this does show that you're working on things that you love. So if there's a project that you've been working on, this is a good time to kind of like dig in, get things done. It's also a good time if you have to do any research for a project that you're doing, to do that research, because it's showing that you're still kind of in a learning mode with this thing that you're doing, any creative ventures you're doing, any business ventures. So don't be afraid to ask for advice or to look things up. You're not expected to know everything. No one knows everything. Don't be afraid to ask an expert if you need some help this week. For Virgo, we have the camel or the seeker of branches, so also known as the Knight of Wands. Virgo, it's a week to take some action. Now, you're also ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in retrograde, but it's saying that even though it's in retrograde, for you, it's saying that, you know what, it's okay to take action. Also, travel will go well this week, even though, again, we're in a Mercury retrograde. Maybe build into your schedule a little extra time, just in case there's delays. But it does show that things are going to be moving very swiftly for you, very quickly. If there's a move you need to make, if there's any changes you need to do, this is the week to do it. It's showing that your energy is high, your optimism is high, and so it's still, even though, like I said, we're coming to the end of the retrograde period, it's still saying, you know what, hey, like, go for it. For Libra, we have the serpent or the quickener, also known as the tower. So Libra, there's going to be some shakeups this week. Now, people get, kind of a little bit scared sometimes when they see the tower because it is shakeups, but that doesn't always mean something like negative or devastating, right? It could be something that just really surprises us and takes us off guard. So kind of expect the unexpected, Libra. And also, you like things to kind of be balanced and harmonious. And so any little thing can kind of like shift your balance and rock you a little bit. So it may not even be that big of a thing. It just makes you kind of uncomfortable and throws you off balance this week. So watch for that. But it shows where maybe things weren't really that stable in the first place. So look at it as a good thing in the long run. For Scorpio, we have the blue jay or the 5 of feathers or the 5 of swords. Scorpio, this is going to be, I think, sometimes a bit of a difficult week. But what it's saying is that, if there's someone around you who's constantly complaining about things, or someone around you who's negative, it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, they just keep being negative and it doesn't really seem to matter. There's really nothing you can do. You can try to point them in the right direction. You can try to say the right things, but this person's going to take it badly no matter what. They're determined to, and there's really nothing you can do about this. Whenever I see this card come up from someone, I just remind them that, some things are not our choice. We can't control other people's opinions or their attitude. All we can do is control our own. And sometimes all we can do in these situations is walk away. We might want to fix things. We might want to try to prove to the other person that we're right, but they're not going to see it. And so sometimes you just have to walk away from those situations or minimize your contact. For Sagittarius, we have the rabbit or the moon. I love this moon card. It's so cute and lovely. I just love it. Sagittarius, this is a week where it's not a week of action for you. You really need to kind of take a step back, as some of the other the other signs their cards were saying. But for you, it's about letting yourself be uncertain, letting yourself not have certainty, because right now things aren't certain. And right now you don't have all the facts in, you don't have all the information, you just don't have all the info that you need right now. And some of it too is that you've been feeling quite emotional and very up and down. And so it's not a really great time to make decisions because you're not feeling like yourself perhaps, and you also don't have all the info to be able to make a decision. It's saying it's okay to wait. It's okay to take a step back. Allow yourself to daydream. Allow yourself to feel your feelings. And if you are having struggling with that, make sure that you're talking to somebody about it that you trust, somebody that you can get help from. That's an extreme kind of interpretation, but I would say that you are feeling kind of moody and sensitive, and that's okay. Just give yourself that time, that self-care. Also pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams might be quite strong. You're probably quite affected by the full moon that we had recently. So it's okay. Just write your dreams down. Take care of yourself. Listen to what your emotions are trying to tell you. For Capricorn, we have the honeybee or the heart awakener, the lovers. Capricorn, good week for you. This is a week to make decisions with your heart. Now, you usually make decisions with your head or with your gut, but it's saying you really have to listen to your heart this week. It's also saying you may have to make a decision with a partner. Now, this is probably, a romantic partner, but it may be a business partner as well. But when you're making decisions, you're really trying to make decisions for what's best for both people or for everyone involved. And you're also making decisions that really come from the heart. This is also saying that it's time as well to pay attention to your romantic life, especially if you've been like work, and busy all the time. It's time to pay a little attention to romance this week. For Aquarius, we have the snake or the ace of branches. Aquarius, you're inspired this week. You have a lot of inspired energy and you're feeling more energetic than you have been. So your energy's kind of up, you're feeling creative, you're feeling inspired. You may not be sure where it's all going just yet, but follow those little leads of inspiration. Don't be afraid to kind of try something new, do something different. It is going to be an optimistic week for you. And for Pisces, we have the raven, also known as the magician. Pisces, there's some new starts coming in for you this week. I mean, we do have, like I said, Mercury is going out of retrograde. Mercury is retrograde in your sign. It doesn't rule your sign, but it is retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And we're going to Aries. So, it's kind of interesting that it's showing that this is actually a week of new beginnings for you. This is a week where you can really kind of put together all the things you've learned over the past few weeks from the retrograde to make something new. That it's not just, you're very good at dreaming, you're very good at like thinking up ideas, but saying now it's time to take action. Now it's time to look at all the things you learned, all the tools and the skills that you have to be able to move forward with a new project, to do something new. You've got it there, you just have to put it together. So I hope this has been helpful for you for this week. And like I said, we'll be moving it on to Patreon, but not until, I think the first Sunday in April is the 7th. So April 7th will be when the Tarotscopes are going to go over there. Otherwise, I hope you have a really good week. And thank you so much for watching. And it's always peace and love.